Hi guys, this is my almost 1 week update of my one book, one pen challenge for July, which is the challenge that Claire Romany, Carrie Harling and Vicky B have given us for July. So this is the one that I've chosen to use for July. I was going to use my A5 DIY Fauxdori, but I really wanted to use this one for something. It is, if you live in the UK, you might have seen them in the bookshop Waterstones. These little moleskin pocket sized, similar to Midori Fauxdoris. They're made by a Turkish company that I think is called The Container or something like that, and they're only $9.99 and they come in all sorts of different colours and patterns, and this one's got a blue elastic, and some of them have got black elastic, some of them are plain, some of them are patterned like this one, some of them are black, some of them are brown. I think I saw a bright orangey one. So they've got lots of different ones, and it's kind of potluck which one you find on the shelf in Waterstones, because I don't think there's any kind of rhyme or reason which ones they actually stock, and unfortunately I've never seen them on sale on the internet. I've only seen them, they've got a good website but they're not for sale. This is the one with the one elastic going through it, but I think there's one with two elastics going through it which you can see on the website but I've never seen in the shops. So it's this gorgeous big scaly kind of crocodile pattern, but it's on a bigger scale, and it's this gorgeous brown colour. It's looking kind of more of a reddish brown on the screen, but it's more of a typical brown, kind of a mid colour, so it's lighter than the Midori brown, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's this shiny kind of oiled leather almost, but it's not greasy, it's just kind of that gorgeous soft feeling smooth leather. It had this scratch on it when I got it, and then it's acquired a couple more scratches when I've been using it, but I got it for my birthday a couple of months ago and I hadn't used it for anything, and on the Sunday, so that was a week ago, I got it out to see if I could use it in conjunction with my A5 DIY Dory. But I just thought, oh, it's just so gorgeous, and I just held it in my hand and I just thought, I just love it so much that I wanted to actually use it. And I had been wondering if I could use a small Fauxdori as my everyday carry, so I decided to put my A5 DIY Dory and my large moleskin bullet journal to one side just for July, just to see if I could do this for the challenge. And I love it so much. It's easy to customize because the page size is quite easy to make lots of little booklets with, and I'm just finding that there are lots of customizable things that you can do with it, so I've had fun setting it up. Unfortunately I wasn't able to set up most of it during the week. This weekend I've done quite a lot for it, so I will show you. So it's the typical sort of Midori layout with the elastic coming through a hole in the back, and then the elastics going through two vertical holes at the top and two vertical holes at the bottom. But it did originally come with the blue elastic for these interior elastics, but they weren't double like the typical Midori style where you have the one long elastic coming through and it having a double band on the inside. It only had one band and tight knots coming here and here, so that wasn't strong enough to hold all of my elastics, all of my notebooks in with the weight of them. So I took those elastics out and I put in black hat elastic, which is about 1.5 mm or 2 mm, and that seems to hold it in. So I'm sorry if the angle isn't very good. I'm using the tripod on the smallest height of legs because it kind of fits in the screen, but it's kind of a weird angle, so hopefully it's okay. The first notebook I've got in here is an actual Moleskine Cahier. That is how you pronounce the word, by the way. C-A-H-I-E-R. Just a little lesson for you. Is pronounced Cahier. So imagine you're saying the word, well, the sounds Kai and the sounds Yay. Cahier. That's how you pronounce it. It's a French word meaning exercise book. I've heard it pronounced lots and lots of different ways, and it's pronounced Cahier, and if you hear it a different way, that's wrong. Especially if you hear it written cashier, like a cashier like a finance person, because people put the S in front of the H and think it's cashier, and it's not, it's Cahier. And if you hear it pronounced like that or see it written like cashier, it's not, it's Cahier. So that's what one of these ones is. It's one of the grid ones, and it's just this simple craft cover with a pocket here. And I bought a pack of 3 and they were £10, and I originally put all 3 of them in here, but then I thought, well, I don't want to use them all up in 1 month, so I'm keeping 1 in here and then 2 DIY notebooks. This one is my diary. I don't mean diary like Dear Diary, it's the English term diary, which means calendar basically, which is my weekly layout, like so. So I've got Monday to Thursday at the top, Friday to Sunday at the bottom with some space for notes, and then my bullet journal. And in the middle I have got an extra kind of thing sitting on the elastic, which has the Moleskine free to print month on 1 page inserts. So what I did was I printed them out and I put some glue across the top strip here and stuck them on the grid paper I cut, which sits quite happily under the elastic in the middle, so that I can write whatever I want on here. But obviously these spaces are tiny, so I have this space and this space to write things. So for example, if I had to write quite a lot for one of the days, I could just do like a dot, and then I know there's something happening on that date, so I can turn over the page and I've written down, oh, on the 10th I've got this meeting and some notes about the meeting. But I have been able to fit some small things on the little tiny squares. So this is my weekly layout, and I really like this layout, but obviously there are tiny spaces. So I can elaborate in my bullet journal for the plan for the day, and then my bullet journal I just write and then leave a gap for the next week, the next week's weekly grid. So I don't have more than 1 week's weekly grid in at a time. I will use the monthly insert stuck in for further ahead planning, for future planning. I don't have much to write in my diary at a time, so I don't need much more space than that. But what I have got in the middle is a dodo pad for the current week, and I cut this down from the A5 size to the size of a spread of the Moleskine pocket size, which is also the same size as the field notes normal size. So I cut that down, and that just sits under the elastic, and I can take this one out and put in next week's one. And this is for planning for my hobbies, projects, goals and academic work. I've only just started using this idea, so I haven't really got much written in, but when I'm properly planning, then I'll be able to fill in more of the squares with planning for that day. But the idea is that I will have stuff I have to do on the weekly grid and stuff I want to do on the dodo pad, and if I don't get all of this done, at least I've got the stuff I had to do done. And then in the middle I've got a notebook that I made out of square paper, and this just sits unbound on the elastic so that I can take pages out and add pages if I want. This part is my notebook. I made a cover for it with Dilution spray inks, a Doris embossing folder, and I wanted some glitter on this butterfly, and I don't know if you can see it. My embossing pen, the heat embossing wasn't working, so I've actually painted glitter glue on it. So this is my notebook, and this is the kind of difference between what I was using before. Having to fit all of my notes on these tiny pages, it's difficult, but I'm trying to make it work. So I've just got like notes for what I've got to do to finish setting this one up, just some basic random notes on this page that I will add to, you know, just little snippets at a time. Most of them are full pages, but this one's just going to be little lines, you know, 3 or 4 lines at a time. And then craft wish list and shopping list. And in the middle I have got my planning insert. See, this is the trouble about having only 3 notebooks in this book. I made a list of what I need in this book. So I need a reference insert, a diary, bullet journal, notebook, organisation section and fun lists. And I've been trying to make all of these things fit into only 3 books. So that's what I've been doing. So I have had to make these 2 go in one. So diary and bullet journal are both in this one, and then organisation section and notebook are both in this one. So in the middle I have got this as like a divider, or a cover for this section, and so these 5 sheets of paper, which make up 20 sides, 20 kind of pages, sit in this really thin insert, but this should be enough for my planning needs. This is basically all the lists of stuff that I need to do, projects, my current lists, that kind of thing. If I need any more pages I can add them because they aren't bound, they just sit under the elastic. And then there's the second half of the notebook. And then I made this file folder insert, which is only made of kind of thin cream cardstock, which isn't very exciting, but I've got the plan to stick things on it, so that will be nice. This is the 6 pocket folder designed by Pocketful of Vintage. And then I've got this insert made of a pocket-sized Filofax top-loading insert and a personal size credit card holder. I've chopped part of the top pocket off, so I've still got these 4 normal sized credit card pockets, and then I used washi tape and sellotape to bind them together, and they sit around this insert. I haven't made a cover for this one yet, but I will do soon. It's my kind of nice happy lists, fun stuff that I kind of like to just flick through and write in when I've got a spare 5 minutes. Just something to kind of cheer me up. It's full of colourful paper, lined paper and plain white paper, and I have a plan to make them pretty pages like Sarah Jean and Courtney Brooke do in their videos, and they decorate them with like acrylic paint swiped on with a baby wipe and Tim Holtz Ranger stains and paint on them and colour on them and just make them pretty. So I've got all these different coloured pastel pages. I don't know if you can see in this light, but there's lilacs and blues and greens and peaches and yellows, and they're really pretty. And then I've got this pen loop that I made from Glenda Slan's design, which you can make using I've made a tutorial to show you how to make one. She encourages you to make them, but she says please don't sell them because they're her copyright. Sorry, my camera died. Yeah, so you can't sell these pen loops, but you can make as many as you want and give them to your family and friends, and if you think that you wouldn't be able to make them successfully, she does sell them on her Etsy shop, which you can see in the link on the actual tutorial video. So that is my one book for July. It's quite chunky now, but it's still really nice to hold in my hand, and is really small. I love it. So yeah, next video I'm going to do a review on how the first week has gone. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!